Guys, welcome to In Conversation with Nomcebo Msane here. I am back. I am doing an amazing series. It's Women's Month, and I'm doing Women Celebrating Women series. I have different kinds of women who are going to come in and share with us what it is like to be a woman in their world and share some nice, empowering tips that are going to help you through as a woman. So the series is mainly for you, my ladies, my queens, my honeys. But the dudes, we're not locking you out. You are also very welcome to be a part of this conversation. Today, I have an amazing young lady who is doing amazing things. She is a businesswoman, she is a wife, she is a woman all rounder doing amazing things. And her name is Tessa. Help me welcome Tessa.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
Thank you for coming. I think the most beautiful thing for me is when an invite goes out and it's honored.
Well, I
So
was
thank
really
you.
honored to receive this invitation.
Thank you so much for coming to In Conversation with. Who is Tessa?
Where do I start? This question when people normally ask me, "Who are you?" I don't even know where to
It's very
start.
easy to reply and talk about other people, but the moment they say, "Who are you?" you're like, "Ooh."
Where do you even start? Okay, so I've got my own foundation registered in
Mm.
2016, Bliss Bambi Foundation. We host annual Christmas party, and I do have a healthcare bag that
Mm.
I go and distribute in government hospitals where I put nappies and maternity wear in for
That's so
ladies.
sweet.
Then in 2018, I started my own women's brand, Women's Lifestyle Network, where we host yearly awards. We've got an online
Mm.
magazine and also membership. Then I just recently started a pageant 2 years ago, two
Mm-hmm.
years ago, for the youth, where we take the Mr. and Mrs. from each high school and then we
Mm.
put them in a competition. And then I just launched my own it's like a lingerie clothing line called Sherry
Yes.
Lala. And then I also have my personal brand, which is focused on purpose, called
Yes.
Joyful Living with Tess. So in
Ah.
short, I'm an entrepreneur and a philanthropist.
You definitely sound like one, and you've picked your niche. You love us ladies. You
Yes.
take good care of us. Thank you so much. What is the vision behind all of this? When you are speaking, I'm hearing a lot of you wanting to empower the next person. Your businesses are around making sure that the next person is empowered. That person doesn't even have to know you because at the hospital, who's going to know who prepared that pack? So, what is your drive to want to be such a person in the society?
So I believe that we all have a purpose, and I
Yes.
strongly believe that my purpose is to empower people to also follow their purpose in life.
Mm,
So that is what all my business is all about, is to let people follow their purpose. So I'm inspiring people to also just follow their purpose in
mm.
life.
That is amazing. Tess, when she was a young girl, what did she think she was going to be doing? Is this what you thought you were going to
Oh
be doing?
no, not at all. I actually spoke about it on a radio interview
Mm,
by Cape Pulpit. I never thought I would be this kind of. If someone told me when I was 16 that Tessa, you're gonna do all these things,
mm.
there
You'd have
was
like, no thanks.
no, because it was prophesized over my life. Like,
Mm,
okay, Tessa, you are going to work with women and children.
mm,
I remember I think I was 20 or 21. It was prophesized over my life. And at the time, I was doing modeling, and the lady told me, Tessa, you're going to work with women and children. You're
mm,
not going to be in this modeling world for long,
mm,
because I was a finalist for Miss National Face. And
mm.
just laughed in the lady's face, saying
You're
that,
like,
look, I'm the
no.
most selfish person you can get. How can you tell me that I'm going to do that? Up until a few years later,
Mm.
I think 3 or 4 years later, I registered my own foundation. After I received my NPO certificate, my mom had to remind me, like, Tessa, remember what was prophesied in your
In your
life? And
life.
then it struck me. And I
Mm.
recently, in I think 2020, I met up with this lady again, and she's like, and
Where are you now?
So
That is
whenever she's saying
amazing.
something, I really take it into consideration. I'll say, okay, God, I don't see myself there, but if that's the way God really wants me
To
to go,
move.
then I'll
Mm.
go.
That is so amazing. Like a lot of us are struggling to figure out what our purpose is.
True.
Like, and for women in our society, our purpose has been defined as be a wife, be a mom,
Mm.
and take care of your man and all of those things. So you find that a lot of women struggle with their purpose. You were given your purpose and you're like, maybe not. But somehow God redirected your steps back into your purpose.
True.
What would you say to someone who is maybe struggling to figure out what their purpose is in this life?
Well, I normally say it, and you know what? God started from the end
Yeah.
and not the beginning. So
Yes.
you should always keep that in mind. He started at the end. So just because, yes, I started my brand Women's Lifestyle, but we are inspiring all kinds of women,
Mm.
whether you're career driven women, where you
Mm-hmm.
work 9 to 5, or you're a stay at home mom
Mm.
doing something small. So we should not look to the left or look to the right that, okay, this person's doing this. Let me also do
Do
this.
that.
Do
Mm.
what you feel like this is my purpose. If your purpose in life is having kids and, you know, concentrating on your household, walking
Mm.
that, because that is also a good purpose, because you're
Yes.
preparing the next generation.
Yes. I love what you are saying. God started from the end and not the beginning. We are the ones who don't know what the end looks like, but He
True.
does. So just trust Him with what He has given you. And in my journey of navigating through my own purpose, I realized that a purpose for me is what fulfills you.
True.
What is it that fulfills you as a person? That for me becomes like the first step in discovering what your purpose is. I like what you said, stop looking on the left and on the right to see what everybody else is doing. You're going to get very confused. People are doing their own things
Ayo.
out there. If you're going to look at people, gosh, you're never going to do what you really want to do. So, with all the pressures in you navigating through all the things that you've done, what was like your go-to strategy to not look at what other people are doing and just focus on what you are doing as Tessa, the one with the NPO? Tessa is the one who knows that it was prophesied over her to do A, B, and C. I'll tell you why I'm asking this, because some of us, we know what we're supposed to do, but we listen to so many other things around us that we end up doubting what we know.
Look, so it's all a journey. That's what I love
Yes.
about my journey in particular, and that's what I also want women to realize and
Mm.
people to realize. It's all a journey,
Yeah.
because all the things that I'm doing today. After I started my NPO, I wanted to do a lot of other things, and I actually wrote
Mm.
it down. That's why I love writing.
Mm.
But in the process of planning it, it took me years to fulfill all these things. So be
Mm.
patient, because
Mm.
as you really want to do it right now, and next year you want to launch it. I
Mm.
mean, I had the dream of starting my own pageant for 4 years, but I knew that I had to do other things in my community to fulfill the pageant.
Mm.
You see, so it's all a journey, and all the other business that is sisters that I have and
Mm.
projects that I have, I've
Mm.
been planning it. So it's all a process. And that's what's so sad about this generation. We're instant generation.
Oh,
We want
man.
instant results. And that's why I'm so thankful that I started my foundation first, because I had to learn how to give without receiving, so that in
Yes.
my businesses, I don't expect to get something in return immediately, but just
Mm.
sow and then later receive.
I love what you're saying. We are such an instant gratification generation. We want everything to happen now, now, now. But
True.
as Tessa is saying, it is a journey. Just allow yourself to walk through the journey. And I know one of the reasons why we think everything should happen now, now is because we feel like we don't have enough time for
Yes.
whatever reasons. And that goes back to we looking left and right and to what other people are doing, but you have all the time in the world to do what it is that you believe in your heart and soul that you are supposed to be doing. So all this instant gratification must really, really get out of your
That's so
mind.
true.
Things that are worth having take time and building and patience and all of those things. You mentioned that you are so thankful that you started your foundation first because it taught you a lesson
That's correct,
that
yes.
just give and give without expecting anything in return at first, and then sow a seed, only expect results after that.
True.
Would you say that's like one of the aspects of being a businesswoman?
In my opinion, yes, I would say. And you know what? It was so amazing, because before I realized there is other people out there doing it, because I started
Mm.
in 2016, and then when I started Women's Lifestyle Network, I met this phenomenal lady in our community that's selling Villa Krauser products. She used to give free facials.
Sure.
to people, and then later on they would buy her products,
I
and
wouldn't
then
give anything for
exactly
free.
that's the thing.
That's
We
our
just want the
thinking.
money immediately.
Yes.
And she told me, she's like, Tessa, I had to give 100 free facials before people would even start getting paying for their facials. But at least I know that, you know what, they're going to buy products from me. And then this year I heard another phenomenal story, a Ghana community that started permanent funerals, pyramid funerals, sorry. You know, he bought vehicles and he went into the community and he gave free funerals. And today that company is growing.
Growing.
And that's when I realized, like, you know what, Tessa, so it's not just you that's thinking like that. There's a lot of other people out there that's thinking the same as you. Just to be patient.
That's so amazing. And the great lesson for me in that is in those free things that you are giving out, in your situation, things might be a little bit different. You wouldn't have to give a specific product for free. But if you build that relationship, it creates a certain trust that no new person can come and say, I'm going to do your facial and take me away from that lady who's been there with me through my face journey,
Exactly,
giving
yes.
me free advice and all of those things. So I'm learning such a great lesson there that in a business, you need to give yourself that space where you are creating trust within your niche. We need to trust that this product that you're giving us is really worth it. And we're not just going to buy it because you say so. So there's going to be some sacrifices that you're going to do.
That's
And one of the
correct.
sacrifices will be rendering your services for free. And obviously, no business advisor will tell you this is a good way to go, but it's one of the best ways to create like that relationship and that trust amongst the community.
That's correct. And it's also a method of, you know, market research because, you know, when you start something, you'll be energized, okay, and then you charge for something and you don't like it. Instead of just giving it for free and see, is it something that I would do for money? And then at least you know you would do it for
For
money, and then
money,
later on the money
yes.
will come.
I love the lesson also that it creates and it teaches you being patient and being really, really sure about the product that you are working on and all of those things. Sure, what a lovely conversation. I'm having such a great time. I hope you guys are learning something with Tessa here. She mentioned that she is running Women Lifestyle magazine. Tell us
Yes.
about that. I was featured, y'all.
For
I
Women's
made it. I
Month.
made it.
Women's Lifestyle Network. That's actually, I call it my baby because that's my first business that I actually registered. And my baby just turned 7 years old this year. So basically, I wanted to enter awards in here in Johannesburg. And I had my NPO, like I told you. And I couldn't really enter because one of the requirements was that my foundation had to have R1 million in its bank account. And I asked myself, I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I'm following my passion and that's to
Yes,
give. And
yes.
that's where it came about. I'm like, you know what, there's so many other people that's also doing a lot of things, but they don't have so much money in their business account or bank account. So let me start recognizing people. And
So you
that's
created the platform for
yes,
them.
I created that platform for all the women. So we've got a lot of categories like health, education, youth. So there's so many categories. So I started that. And then also with the magazine, there isn't enough platforms where we can tell women's stories. And that's
Yes.
when I started the magazine.
Oh, wow. Guys, she loves women. It's so amazing. And I know, like, a lot of people always say that there's so much focus on women and empowering women and all of that. But I feel like there's not enough platforms where we are truly recognized. And I love what your magazine is doing, recognizing women's stories that are maybe technically not good enough in a way that, like you were saying, the requirements were have that 1 million in your account or have this many followers
That's
on your
correct,
Instagram
yes.
or have all these people looking at you.
Done a certain things.
You know, some of the requirements in these platforms for me sometimes I feel like they take away the true value of what this story is about.
That's so correct.
And then you find your places where you just bring the story as raw as it is and it gets recognized because one way or another you are doing something, you are influencing somebody else in your space. You don't have to have a 1 million rand in your business account. You don't have to have a million followers on social media. The group that you are able to influence, those are the people that you've been trusted with, and those are the people that you actually need to change lives.
Yes, it
We live
is.
in a day where if you only have 10 likes, you feel like you're not doing enough. When someone has a million likes, it's like they are the ones who are doing everything. And if you really go into the core of it, that's where you realize that that's not true.
That is so, so, so true what you're saying, because we all have a story to tell.
Yes, we do.
Doesn't matter how big and doesn't matter how small. We
That is
all
true.
have something that we had to overcome.
Yes.
And the situation that you had to overcome, the next person that's going through that similar situation, you can actually empower that person.
Yeah. For me, I sometimes feel like it's even your responsibility to make sure that the next person who's going to go through whatever it is that you went through, they look at you and feel like, this is not as bad as I think it is.
Exactly.
Look at someone who's gone through it.
Exactly. That's what I also love. Watching reality shows also, because you will sit there and like, but I thought my life was a mess, or I thought I'm the only one that's going through this.
No.
So there's
Step
so
out
many
of your
women.
shell. Step out of your shell and
Exactly.
see all the other women and what they are going through and how they are striving through it.
Exactly.
What an amazing conversation. It's Women's Month. We are celebrating women. You are here as part of the women's series that we are doing, Women Celebrating Women. Any women in your life that you feel like are truly celebrating you or are truly worth celebrating, just in your life. Let's not look at the wider spaces, your life specifically.
Yeah, I've got so many women. I don't even know where to start. Sure. Well, I really celebrate my mom, my late mom, Loretta Erasmus. She was really inspiration for me because she really lived out her purpose in life. And that is to, raise 27 kids, including me, and really just followed her purpose in life. So she really inspires me so much, still does today. And I look at her work and to think that, there was a point in my life when I was a teenager where I told myself that I would never be like my mom.
I don't want to be like her.
I would
That's
never,
teenage life.
never. And today I look back and I'm like, I'm exactly like her. Living out my purpose, being a homemaker, because she used to sew us clothes, the curtains, everything. And now I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm in my community making a change just like she did, and I'm a homemaker. So that's really a woman that I really look up to and really celebrate in Women's Day.
I love that. My mom is also late, and I also like had so many things that are like I don't want to be like that lady. My mom was she would sometimes come across very aggressive. So like when you go to her, you always had to know that you are going for war. She was like that person, very strict, very firm on what she believes in. And at that time, I thought like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. My mom is gonna say something about this thing, and I would like want to shy away from it. But the older I got, I was like, this woman knew her story, and she was very firm on who she was and what she believed in, and I celebrate her. She's no longer with me, but I carry her everywhere I go. I carry her in my spirit. My family, sometimes when I'm speaking to them over the phone, they say I sound like her. This one time, one of my aunts, I went to visit her in her house. I was standing outside the gates. I'm like, woman, open the gate. I'm here. She's looking at me. I'm like, lady, hi. And then eventually when she opened, I walked to her. She was in tears. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, for a minute there, when I looked at you there at the gates, I really saw my sister.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, that's so amazing. So as I'm becoming a woman fully myself, I'm embracing the things that I would say I don't like about her and realizing that those are the things that truly made her who she was and understood why she was dealing with those things and doing them the way that she was doing them. So it's very important for us to celebrate the women in our lives. Don't compare them to other people. There's a reason why God chose those specific people to be in your life. And there's a purpose behind each and every woman that is in your life to be there. Whether it's your mom, it's your aunt, it's your sister, it's your cousin, your friends, there's a purpose behind that. And if we are going to look at them and feel like you're not good enough to be my mom, you're not good enough to be whatever in my life, you're missing the mark.
That's so true. But I love the fact that you said that, your aunt said remind her so much of her sister. Same thing happened to me. So my sister Cherise said the same thing. And we went to them a few weekends back, and she was in tears when she had to greet me and my husband. And she said the same thing. She's like, you know what, Tessa, you really remind me of mom. I'm like, but how? I don't even look like mom. She's like, Tessa, everything about you just screams mom. What?
Such an amazing feeling.
It
I
is
love it. I
actually.
love
So
it. I
you
love
just
it.
need to walk, because all these things get added into your life, and then
Yes.
without you even knowing, you're transforming into this person that you actually looked up to, even though you didn't want it to be like this person. But then you get transformed into this person. So that's what's so amazing about motherhood.
Yes.
How much you install in your child.
And the beautiful thing is, whether you're still here or not, all the things and the lessons that you would have installed in there are still there, and they just grow with them. Look at us today.
True.
Our mothers are probably like, what are these two all about? But it's such a beautiful moment. We are about to wrap up our conversation. It's been so amazing to talk about you, talk about what you do. As I said, it's Women's Month. We're celebrating women with women. What are the, I don't want to say life tips, but what are some of the empowering words that you can leave with women who will come across this conversation?
Let me see. While I am wearing the t-shirt, so I will say be a Proverbs 31 woman, because I really look up to it. If you
have not read Proverbs 31, this is your opportunity.
Yes, it's all on the t-shirt, because that's what I live by nowadays. Is to be a Proverbs, and strive also to be a Proverbs 31 woman. You can really learn a lot from the Proverbs 31 woman. She had so many things, and she also did a lot of things. So just be a Proverbs 31 woman.
Any highlights on those? I know they have not read it. Few things that you can pick from Proverbs 31 women as character traits that you feel like each woman should live by, these character traits.
For me, the one that really, I strive to live by is to make sure that my household has got everything.
Yes.
They say your Proverbs 31 woman's got land. And she rises very early in the morning. That's one thing that I still struggle with.
Oh, God. I'm preaching to the choir. When you say early, how early?
Yeah, that's before sunrise. The verse says before sunrise, and my husband normally comes and he puts me a coffee. I'm like, it's so early. And then when he goes out, that coffee will stand there for an hour. I need to put it in the microwave. But for me, the verse, it really says, you need to be an early rise. And that's what I love about it, because people forget that, Proverbs 31 woman wasn't just someone that was at home. She was a homemaker, and she had her own businesses. So that's what I love about the Proverbs 31 woman.
She had so many hats that she was wearing, and she wore all of them with grace, and she wore all of them with style.
Yes, that is so true.
Love. For me, I would say I took out the confidence that she carries. It's amazing to be a woman. Our society sometimes tells us that it's not. Some of the challenges that we go through as women also make us feel like, gosh, why am I a woman? There's a woman dying in our country. The last time I checked the stats, it was every 4 hours a woman dies. And there's so many negative things in the society about you being a woman, and maybe you can one day wake up and be like, why? But there's also very beautiful things about being a woman. There's certain things that you just conquer in life just because you're a woman. So be confident in being a woman.
Yes.
Be confident in who you are as a woman.
Yes.
Learn from other women. We are celebrating women with women. It's time we put a stop on this thing of pulling each other down. We need to get over that.
That is very, very correct, because we should not even do that as women, because we all are facing our own struggles.
That's the thing.
So to put another woman down, for me, it's just the most horrible thing another woman can do to another woman.
Yeah.
Because like you said, supposed to learn from that person. Supposed to, when you've got something that you're struggling with, to go to that woman and say, will you please help me in this area? I don't know
Yeah.
what to do next. Maybe you can guide me. I've seen you go through it. How did you
How
go
did
through
you
it?
go through this year? We are here as each other's guides, not to fight against each other. And for me, when you pull down another woman, it becomes a reflection of you,
True.
not the other person. So if you find yourself in a position where you are pulling down other people, women specifically, deal with whatever it is that's causing you to do that. Why do you feel the need to put me down for you to be above? There's enough room for all
All
of
of us.
us.
There's plenty of
There's
room, actually.
plenty. And it's so beautiful when we are all together and just shining
And
together.
our own uniqueness, because we're all unique. In
In
our
our own
own
way.
special ways, we're so unique.
Yeah.
That's what I
so
love about a
true.
group of women that's together. I can see it on my own, friendships. We all are so unique in our own way, but we complement each other. For instance,
Yes.
me and my best friend, we are can't say completely opposite of each other, but we're not the same in certain ways, but we complement
Each other.
so much.
I love that. Tessa, thank you so much for
Thank you
making
so
time
much
to be
for
here
having
on
me.
In Conversation With. We love you so much. We wish you all the best in whatever it is that you are busy with, your businesses. Let them grow. And, God saw the end before the beginning. Those are your words.
True.
So, in whatever challenge that you may come across, just know that the one who put you there knows exactly what the end looks like. And he wouldn't let you go through all of that if the end is not in your favor. So keep going. We celebrate you as a woman. In today's world, with everything that's happening, we celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love, love, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you for joining us. This is us. We are done. I hope you learned something. If you want to get a hold of Tess just to learn more about her, hit us up on the comments. Let us know. If you want to ask her about the businesses, just get advice from her. She's a very busy woman, but trust, I will get your question across and get you an answer. But this is us. Thank you.